Welcome to A Funny Feeling Podcast. I'm Betsy Sidaro.
And I'm Marcy Jarrow. This is a podcast where comedians tell us their paranormal experiences, and we listen to yours as well.
Oh, yeah. And if you have one of these paranormal experiences that you want to share with us, please email it to us at funnyfeelingpod@gmail.com.
Now get cozy.
And prepare yourself to be scared silly.
This is a Funny Feeling Podcast.
Oh, Marcy.
Oh,
I thought you were really going to scream at me with that big old
I was
get
like,
ready.
Let me ruin this recording real fast by
Let's make
blowing
everybody
out my
listening
friend's
in their
ears.
cars crash their car because it's so loud.
Too loud.
Too loud.
Well, we're excited. That's why we're. That's why
Yeah,
we're
we
screaming at
are.
each
We're
other.
fucking pumped, dude.
We have a like-minded guest with us today. I mean, we often do, but this I think is we're in the
Spot
same family.
on. Yes.
This is the same family. We are family immediately.
We are fam.
Yeah, like family. Wait, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. I think we're in the same species, or at least genus,
Marcy,
right?
that was good.
Yeah, I remember.
Did you
that,
look it
so.
up right before you said that?
It's one of those things that I learned in biology
And
when I
it
was
stuck.
13. Family, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species.
Nice, dude.
Anyway, we'll talk science later.
Yeah. On this podcast, we don't believe in science.
No. We say prove it about
Yeah, we're
science.
on prove it, okay.
Prove it. And I'm not reading it or watching a video.
Yeah, no.
But we're so excited today because we have a fellow podcaster with us.
Yes.
The host of Tell Me Your Ghost Story.
Yes.
Welcome, Kassie Askin.
Hello. Thank you for having me. I'm a longtime listener, first time caller, so I'm so honored to be here.
Exciting.
Thank
We
you.
are so pumped.
So
I love your
Same.
podcast. It's totally just like, we love it. Like, this is what we love.
It's
Thank
like
you.
I said, we're
Thank
in the
you.
same genus or species. I couldn't remember.
both,
which
I
one, but
think.
both. Also, I put some stank on your last name, but it's Askin, right?
Yes, correct.
I said
Yeah,
it
you
like
did have like a
Askin.
little fun of like.
Yeah, that's not fair to you. People should know how to.
I'll
pronounce
allow it.
Okay. Kassie, thank you so much for joining us.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Oh, go ahead, Marcy.
I was going to say, I do believe the winter is the spookiest season. It's not fall. I believe it's winter. So I think
Wow.
it's a perfect time for you to join us.
I agree. There's a Christmas song where it says there'll be scary ghost stories, right? Which one is that?
Bing
There'll be
Crosby,
scary ghost
right?
stories and
Yup.
marshmallows for
Yup.
toasting. Yes. It is.
Perfect.
And you look at like Charles Dickens, dude.
Yes.
Because they were all so like, oh, what do we do? It's dark at 2 p.m.
Seasonal depression.
Yeah, what do we do? Let's tell ghost stories.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell our listeners what your podcast is all about.
Yes, so tell me your ghost story. People come on and they tell me their ghost story. And the title came from what I say to everyone after I've had exactly one margarita at a function. I think you guys say the same.
Yes.
It's
It's a perfect icebreaker.
Icebreaker.
yes. The one margarita for me really unlocks like a paranormal investigator. And I just go around asking everyone. And yeah, I've always really needed like a fun, creative passion project. Before the pandemic, I played music in bands.
Yes.
And then COVID kind of exploded all of the bands that I was playing in. And then shortly after the pandemic, I got married. So my wedding planning took up pretty much all of my free time for well over a year.
Isn't
So that was
wild.
oh my God. It was so much. It was so much. All of my free time planning the wedding. But then we had the wedding and it was beautiful and it was amazing. Everyone says it goes by too fast. I think it was great. I don't know. It felt perfect. It didn't feel like I did all of that for nothing. It was a really
Great.
good time. I
love
loved
that.
it. But yeah, then a couple months after my wedding, I was like, what am I doing? I'm not playing in any bands. Like, I need to be doing something. And, you know, I had explored the music that I have the passion for, but I hadn't really explored the paranormal. And I listened to paranormal podcasts. Like, I did play music. I wasn't listening to music in the car. I was always listening to paranormal podcasts. It's all I listened to.
Yeah.
I listened to all of them. My favorite thing is just hearing ghost stories. So I thought, why not start my own podcast?
Yes.
And I started on ground zero by just putting the message out to all my friends and asking if anybody had a story to share. And I was genuinely so shocked by like the amazing stories that people really close to me had, given that I go around at parties and ask people about their ghost stories. Like, I don't know, something like Unlocked, and people are like, okay, well, now I'll like really tell you my crazy stories. And like, for example, my close friend David, I think that he time traveled or had a time slip. He told his story on the 3rd episode of my podcast. He was delivering mail, working on the job, you know, not inebriated in any way, delivering mail in downtown LA. He delivers mail to this really, really swanky, roaring 20s-esque hotel. Everyone in there was dressed to the nines. They were in tuxedos and ball gowns, and he found a staff member who was wearing white gloves, a top hat, a suit coat with tails, and was like, I have the mail for you. And he's like, oh yeah, thank you, sir. I'll take that. So he's like so taken aback by it that he, on the way home, he calls his wife and is like, look up this address. What is it? And she looks it up. It's a vacant building. Not only is it vacant, it was condemned for months because there was a fire that ruined the structural integrity of the building. And before that, it was SRO public housing. So like not a swanky hotel at all. And that's a close friend of mine. So I think a close friend of mine.
A mail carrier can't lie.
Yes.
That's part of the doctrine.
Whoa.
They are so honest, right?
Yeah.
But also, who was sending mail to the burned down hotel? It was probably an Amazon subscription auto.
Yeah. Right. And the weird thing is, he said the writing on the letters, I asked him, I was like, was it old stamps? He said they were forever stamps. They were current stamps. But the like the to and from sender, it was like really beautiful script, and it was like a fat sack of mail, like it had been collecting for some time that just didn't get like returned to sender. Whoa. But anyway, I have the address of that location. It's in downtown LA. I went there. It's boarded up. You cannot access it. It looks far from a swanky. He said it looked like the inside of the Titanic.
Whoa.
So like, that is like an all-timer story for me.
That's
and this is
incredible.
My close friend. Another close friend. Yeah, right. Another close friend of mine, Jeff, I think he was abducted by aliens. He has missing time. He was driving in the Hollywood Hills in a taxi, and there was a bright light in the sky, and it just got so bright that it flooded his entire vision. The next thing he knows, it's 30 minutes later, and he's in Beverly Hills, which is like 20 miles away, and it's 30 minutes later. And he just like really casually told me this. So I was just so stoked that so many people I'm so close to had these like crazy, amazing stories. But yeah, now like 35 episodes later, I'm still kind of new in the game. I've been doing this for just a little over a year, but now listeners are sending in their stories, and I'm like so excited and honored that I'm trusted with these you know, crazy stories. And it's crazy because I mean, you know, like my favorite thing is hearing these ghost stories. So I'm so stoked that it's like an actual thing now. It's like totally a dream.
Oh, that rules. It is
so
the
cool.
most fun. It's so,
absolutely.
It's so much fun. And it's so fun hearing. It's really also nice hearing like listeners being like, thank you for giving us a safe space to share our stories. Where it's like, oh, that never even crossed my mind that people are, of course, holding them in because it's like, this makes me sound nutty. Like,
I know I've said it to you before, Betsy, but there are even other podcasts that I know of where the hosts don't always believe their listeners. And granted, we should, I guess, like not just automatically be like, yep, demon in your house, but that I don't know, like to dismiss it so quickly is like not fair to the person who's thought about this a lot. It's not like this is some idiot who's just being like, guys, something just happened. Like it's someone who's had the experience, had time to process it and thought it over and thought, what else could it be? And decided they couldn't figure it out.
Yes.
Right. I like to have a radical acceptance. I'm like, if you are telling me this meant so much to you that you're remembering it sometimes years later, sometimes you can see how much it's affected them. Some people, it's changed their lives and they're like, I didn't really believe anything before and now maybe.
Yes.
I radically accept it. And I'm like, that happened to you. And for the stories, I try to really consider if there might be a rational explanation, but beyond that, like I'm not trying to poke holes.
Right.
Right.
I love the story of it. And I love my mind being blown. That's like my favorite part. That's the high I'm chasing.
Yes.
It's just like, I want my mind to be blown. Like, how did that happen?
Yes.
That's my favorite part.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's so much fun. It also can get kind of freaky for me personally, of like my mind getting so blown to where it's like, uh-oh. I gotta pump the brakes a little bit because I don't like thinking about how, I don't know. The universe is big. The ocean is big. Ugh, scary, but it's awesome.
Exactly. That reminds me, I have an episode where a lady saw had a goblin encounter in the UK. And when I was making that episode, I was like, I'm pretty terrified of goblins now. Not really something that I was thinking about before.
I don't think we've had a goblin
We've
story.
never had a goblin story.
Oh my God.
You had it within 35 episodes?
Yes.
We're close to 500, I think. What the fuck are you guys doing out there listening?
Send us a goblin story.
Send us your goblin
What
stories.
happened with the goblin?
So, granted, this was in the UK, which I do feel like it makes a little more sense for there to be goblins over there versus the United States. But she lives in the UK and she was on vacation somewhere else in the UK at this old historic hotel. And it was like a girls' spa weekend. And she was the first one awake. She goes out and lays on the couch. She was fully awake. It wasn't like I'm waking up from sleep. Mm-hmm. And she feels something tickling her arm on the couch. And she thinks it's either her hair or a spider. Oh. So she sits up and looks behind the back of the couch. And she sees what she describes as a golem-like goblin. It had silver skin.
Ew!
Shiny and reflective. She said it had a huge mouth with a bunch of crooked, broken teeth. It had eye sockets. She couldn't see eyes, but it was because the sockets were so deep. And it had stringy black hair.
No.
And she was like, this is a reflection. She had time to think this is a reflection. There's something outside and it's projecting in. So she's actively looking around and is like, where's that reflection coming from? That's so funny. She's taking her eyes off of it. She's looking back and still seeing it. And when she realizes it's not coming from anywhere, she screams and turns on the lights and it was gone. And it kind of became a joke for the rest of the trip. She just told the people she had a nightmare and they're like, oh yeah, Jordan, on our relaxing spa weekend has this terrible nightmare. She didn't elaborate, but then she goes home and it I think it followed her home because little mischievous pranks were getting pulled on her. She would find her toothbrush in the refrigerator and her hairbrush in the garage. Weird little pranks. Her electronics behind dressers were getting unplugged. And she's like, what is happening? Whoa. And then she's out in public randomly one day. And someone comes up to her, a random stranger, and is like, you have a low-level attachment. You need to banish it. Light a candle in your house and tell it it's not welcome. You need to do this for your protection. And she's like, what the heck? The lady wasn't hawking anything, wasn't selling anything, just said, go home and burn a candle. And she's like, okay. And she goes home and burns a little Yankee candle and was like, you're not allowed to be here. Get out. This is my house. And it all stopped.
That pumpkin pie flavored candle.
Right?
Yes. That is awesome.
Wait.
Right?
Okay.
So, yeah, those really weird stories, the deeply weird ones are my favorite.
Okay,
for sure.
This is this is crazy because we now have to ask you the question we ask everyone, which is what do you believe about the paranormal? Like, what is your belief? Yeah.
I believe in everything. Yeah. I always say I believe in everything because I don't believe our human brain can like fully comprehend the complexities of the universe, of reality.
Yeah.
So I just, again, I have a radical acceptance. And that mystery of like, you know, fully accepting that we don't fully know everything, like that's part of the fun for me. Again,
yes.
like I was saying, like I love my mind being blown. Like if we had it all figured out, like what's the point? So I just say, you know what? I believe in everything. And then between like I have a handful of small encounters, and then hearing all of these encounters on my podcast, on other podcasts, I've heard thousands by now listening for years and years. Like, again, like not all of them, 99% of them could have a rational explanation, but like that 1%, if that's real, then it's all real. Yes. So I just like to remain open. And I say I believe in everything. I mean, there's some where I'm like, Loch Ness Monster, maybe that's just something, you know, a creature we haven't really found yet. But
I actually heard a really cool theory recently.
Oh, I'd love to hear it.
Oh, it's going to be so funny, too, when you do hear it, guys. If you're not on TikTok 18 hours a day, you maybe haven't heard it. But
Marcy, you gotta chill out on TikTok. Just a little
That's how
bit.
I'm chilling. That's how I'm
you're
chilling.
No way.
You're getting those TikToks where it's like, are you having too much screen time? And you're like, shut up.
I get so
get out of here.
I'm like, mind your business. How dare you serve this to me on your platform?
Right? You don't know my life.
Yeah,
if I ran into that woman on the street,
are you scrolling instead of sleeping? Yes.
No, it's 12.
You know I am.
I never did sleep. So the theory was that there was a traveling circus going through town, and then the traveling
giraffe?
circus would have to stop and let the animals out for a break every now and then, and that it might have been an elephant in the water with its tusk above, and so the head that you think is the head is actually the tusk, and then the scoop is like the top of the head of the elephant, that like the back that you think is Nessie is actually just an elephant like walking along the bottom of the lock.
Funny.
Wow. And if you
I
look
can see that. I can picture that.
Just like here, I'll Google it. So like elephant.
What?
That way I can show our people watching Loch Ness. This is I can't.
What?
Okay, so I'll find an image and then just
that's
share it with you.
funny
Hold on.
if that's the case.
I want everyone at home to be Googling it. Let's see. How do I share? I forget how to do this, guys. Everyone loves this part. Okay. So, do you see this one?
Oh.
Let me see.
Oh, wait. Let's see. Can you see it?
Oh.
Wait, the tusk.
Uh-huh.
That could totally be an elephant that they let hang out in a lake on the way to their next spot for a zoo.
Yeah,
funny.
Like, this is the idea of it in the water.
And they do that. That's how they swim.
They
That is how they
do
swim.
that.
This one's a great one.
Because that looks like
That's
a dinosaur.
Nessie.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Look at this.
This
Look at
is
one.
so funny.
And,
This
like,
is
of course,
funny and blowing my mind.
Of course no one there would say, oh, that's an elephant, because people haven't seen an elephant. What are we talking? Those people,
Right.
like, they didn't see it. They don't know that.
That's
Wow.
incredible.
So yeah, like I said, I believe in everything but the Loch Ness Monster. No.
And now we got our proof.
Yes. Fuck Nessie.
Wow.
Whoa. Did you have you always believed in everything, or like yeah, ever since you were a kid, were you just like, absolutely?
Yeah. So it's kind of a funny story how I like got into this. I was like the most scared kid alive. I was afraid of everything. I now know it's like generalized anxiety, but you know, when you're a kid and you don't have those words, just felt like I was scared of everything. My parents actually said that when I first learned to walk and I was walking outside, I saw my shadow and I screamed and tried to run away from it. So literally,
wow, you really
afraid.
were scared of your own shadow.
Oh, no.
Exactly. Yes. Not just a metaphor. Like I literally was. So I have a distinct memory in first grade. Some kids in the library were gathered around a book that had like real ghost photos in it and like was talking about like the Queen Mary and haunted places. Yes, and I remember being livid. I remember being like, I'm scared of everyday life. I'm scared of leaving my mommy and daddy all day and being at this dumb school. And like, so you're telling me that like the Scooby-Doo monsters are real and that's like another thing that I have to deal with. Like, I can't handle that. And I was angry. And I did like the most narc little kid thing ever. I checked out the book and I was like, I'm going to bring it home to my mom and dad and they're going to tell me how it's fake and y'all are going to look silly. So I did that and I brought the book home. And before I showed my parents, I was looking through it myself. And then something kind of clicked and I was like, wait, this is actually pretty cool. And since then, I have been obsessed with the paranormal. And I do think there is like a connection there that someone smarter than me can put together. But like when you have anxiety, experiencing spooky stuff kind of feels like a cathartic outlet.
Yeah.
It's like experiencing fear in a controlled way on your own terms.
Yes.
So I think there's something there. But yeah, ever since then, you know, I checked out all the books in the library about the paranormal and have just been stoked on it ever since. And then I've had a couple experiences myself that really was like, okay, like this stuff is real.
Yeah.
I had like the first like really weird thing that happened to me was I had this little pink unicorn toy when I was like 8 or 9 and it was my favorite and it was lost one day. And I don't know if one of your parents was like the finder in your house. That was my dad. He could always find something that I lost. So I called my dad in. I'm like, this is lost. We're pulling apart my entire room, looking through every drawer. I pulled the like blankets and sheets off my bed to see if it was in my bed. Wasn't there. Remade my bed. We had to call it off. This pink unicorn was nowhere. And then I sat at the foot of my bed with my back up against the bed. And I was like upset. I was probably crying. And then I like kind of calmed down. I stood up, turned around. It was sitting right in the middle of the bed. Like it felt intentional. It was dead center in the middle of the bed. And I had taken the blankets off. Like, I mean, you could say maybe it was folded up, but like the bed is the centerpiece of my room. We were looking at my bed. Like it was not there. And to this day, I can't explain that. That was the first weird thing that happened to me. And a lot of people actually have told me they've experienced something of like an object just disappearing and then reappearing either where it should have been or in another weird place.
Yes.
I had an episode with Jason Pargin, who's an author and TikToker, and he has a really crazy story of his wife's like big chunky necklace disappearing out of their suitcase when they went on a vacation. They came back and it was not in this pocket where she kept it, and then they were like looking everywhere. He was gonna like drive back to the hotel the next day to see if it was there, and then all of a sudden it was just back in there like it was nothing. So that is just like such an interesting phenomenon, and it's not really a ghost story, but it is like a really weird thing I can't explain. But then when I was 12, I had like my first real experience where I actually saw something, and this feels like the real big experience that I've had in my life. It was in the same house where the pink unicorn disappeared and appeared. And I was just walking into my room. It was after dance class. And it was still light out. So there was some light coming in from the window. And I just walk into my room and I lock eyes on this like shadow thing, shadow being, shadow figure. I don't know what to really call it after all these years. But the funny thing is it was in the shape of like a stereotypical like sheet ghost, like a person wearing a sheet. Yeah, it was like rounded at the top and like draped down. What? And it was about like 3 feet tall. It was dark and shadowy, but I could see light coming through it. and it was like 3-dimensional. And I locked eyes on it, and it started moving, and it like jerked to the left, jerked to the right, jerked back to the left, and then like zoomed into the wall and disappeared. And the vibe that it gave off was like, I'm not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
Like, she sees me.
Busted.
I got to get out of here. Where do I go? It felt like almost like slapstick comedy. It was like,
wait,
I gotta go.
What is your thought? Yeah, well, what do you think about it being like the sheet shape? Like, what do you? What's your interpretation of why it would look that way?
It's so bizarre. I don't know. I still haven't really like figured out why it was that shape. I mean, I feel like maybe sometimes paranormal entities present themselves in a way that you can understand.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So I don't know, but like it really just felt like it wasn't supposed to be there. And I didn't feel scared, actually. I felt like I just had the opportunity to see something and to like know that this is real. Like it was not just my eyes, like it was really there in that room. And that was like from that moment on, I'm like, okay, I've seen something for myself. This stuff is real.
Yes.
This stuff I love reading about, it is real. And yeah, that was the main experience that I've had.
It feels like whatever that like spirit or entity was trying to be like, okay, she's a kid. I'll try to be like a classic ghost or whatever.
Right?
Like kind of a
Yeah, it's
cartoony
so
ghost
weird.
almost.
I like that, yeah.
And then
Yes.
and then got busted. It was like, oh shit. Oh, okay. I don't know. That's so wild.
Exactly. Like thinking about it, I'm like, is it like interdimensional or something like that? And like at this stage in my life, I don't think I would ever do ayahuasca or anything like that. But I'm like, if sometime in the future, if I
all over myself,
that's the big thing. Of
exactly,
like, and poop
not
a lot.
in like a group circle and stuff. Too.
No,
like,
in front of
please.
people.
No.
But I've had the thought, like, what if I did do that one day, and then the thing is me,
Dude,
and I'm like looking back at myself.
as you were saying it, I was like, it was you, man. It was you.
Yeah, and that's pretty scary.
That is so wild.
Have you seen the movie Ghost Story?
I haven't yet.
It's
I did
very
not watch
sad.
it.
It's a very sad movie, but it's sort of like that idea of like haunting, like just being haunted by yourself, and then like the things that you didn't do. Like it's awful. Honestly, awful.
Yeah.
I hate that version of a ghost.
Yeah.
Did you tell your parents at all? Any of these?
I did.
Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah. What did they
so-
think?
Yeah, the pink unicorn, my dad actually got mad at me because he was like, it wasn't on the bed. Like, you just wasted my time. He thought that I like was hiding it and like being intentional. He just thought I was playing a joke and wasting his time helping me look for this thing. He didn't believe it. And then I told my mom about what I saw, and she was like, maybe the cat was running behind you and it casted a weird shadow.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Okay.
all right. But they've kind of come around, me doing the podcast now. They're like, okay, ghosts, all right, sure.
And they don't have any experiences themselves at all.
Actually, my dad has a great story, and he's an amateur astronomer. So I'd always ask him, like, do you believe in aliens? And he's always like, I think they're out there, but space is so vast that like I don't think they could travel here. But I'm like, you're thinking with a human mind, like they could be a billion years ahead of us, right?
You're thinking they behave anything like us. They might not.
Right.
They might not even need
Exactly.
to physically travel anywhere. They might be able to go use whatever wormholes or whatever. Also, have you heard the theory that maybe we're inside a black hole?
Oh, I saw that headline.
I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It's a
hey,
big-
we're
it's a
still
big take.
going.
That's true.
I guess it doesn't
Doesn't
matter.
change anything
Yeah,
for me.
it's kind of like,
Really.
all right, well,
Here we are.
would it be better
Right.
if we weren't? I don't know.
I guess
Maybe.
not.
I
Or
don't know.
would we
Anyway,
just
so
explode? I don't know.
Yeah.
astronomer dad is
Yeah,
like, okay,
so-
they're just not here.
Yeah, and he he kind of entertains it now that I'm in the ghost story business, but like growing up he was like no such thing as ghosts, pretty hard skeptic. But one time he came home, he does these things called star parties where a bunch of his friends take their telescopes out to like a wilderness part where there's like low light pollution, and they just look at stars in their telescopes. And so it's in this like wilderness park, and he and his friends, like most of them had left. There was just one guy there. And my dad at this particular wilderness park, he's a volunteer ranger. So he feels like I got to take care of the place, while I'm here.
Cute.
So he off in the distance near the visitor center, which was a little bit a ways away from where they were, he heard like a crash and a bang. And so he thought like raccoons got into the dumpster. So he's like, I need to go, help and investigate this and see what's up. So he goes out there and it's like completely dark out there. He just has his little flashlight. His one friend is just back at where they had their star party. He's looking around. He doesn't see anything. Dumpster's fine. And then he says from behind him, he heard someone say his name. A male voice just say his name, just Alan. And he thought it was his friend who left their spot and came and was getting him for something. So he just turned around. He's like, yep. And he turns around and nobody's there. And he came home.
Where is this?
Sorry, go ahead.
Like what area of the country?
Yeah, it's southern Orange County. So I believe it's Riley Wilderness Park. There's a few ones down here. I believe it was at that one. But yeah, so he came home and told me that story and he was just like, I can't explain it. I 100% heard it. There was nobody around and it called his name. And like, I was freaking out because he's the skeptic and he's just like, I don't know how but he said it's just a male voice, just Alan. So
I really think that when there's an intelligence behind it, it's so much scarier than like a whatever residual thing that you see moving around, but that it can learn. Learn new stuff. Rawr.
Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, did it make that bang to like draw him out there to be on his own? Yeah, crazy.
Ew,
and he asked his
probably.
friend. Yeah, he asked his friend, he said, like, did you yell my name or did you call me? And the friend's like, no. So,
the woods are nuts. They're great, but they are, stuff is happening in the woods. Like,
definitely.
That's why I was asking
in
where it
nature.
happened. Because, like, there's so much lore about the Appalachian Mountains, so, which is very spooky to me.
Yeah, and we got some of it out here in Southern California, apparently.
Absolutely.
I mean, doesn't California have the oldest living thing, which is a network of trees?
Ooh, that sounds right.
It's like
I would say true to that on a test.
I don't know. Yeah.
Oldest living thing on Earth. Let's see. It's maybe it's not. Oh yeah, it's the White Mountains of California. It's this. It's a 5 over. Yeah, it's like. Well, AI is fucking me up, but it's like it's almost 5,000-year-old pine tree.
Cool.
Dang.
And that's the oldest tree in the world, they think?
The oldest living thing.
The oldest living thing.
So not even just a tree, but the oldest living thing. There's some blade of grass somewhere being like, fuck you.
Yeah, I've been hanging on so long.
Or a mushroom being like, literally. And guess what? I've spawned so many babies.
Yes. Whoa. Yeah, the woods are spooky.
Yeah.
Do you believe in
We
like
also have,
cryptids and everything?
Ooh.
Like Bigfoot and all that? Yeah.
All of them. I really just like, I hope Mothman is real. I love him.
Ooh.
I love Mothman.
Do you think he's a harbinger of like a warning, or what do you think his deal is?
I think so. I mean, that was pretty weird of him to appear right before the bridge collapsed. I think he was trying to help. But then hasn't he been like recently seen in Chicago? And then like nothing really happened. Like a couple, like maybe like 2019, 2018, there was like some sightings of him like near O'Hare, I think.
Whoa.
Yeah. But then like nothing really happened. So.
Yeah.
Whoa.
You just think he's cute then? You just like the idea of
I love the idea of him. I mean, I really want to go to Virginia to, see the statue and everything. I love him as an entity.
Yeah.
Bigfoot, totally believe in it. I mean, there's so many crazy stories. And like, why not? Like,
yes.
I mean, it makes sense. There's like, again, the woods are so vast and
Yeah.
we can't possibly like know everything that's living in there.
Also,
And,
like,
you know, we find...
It might not be a cryptid at all. It could just be a species.
Right. Yeah. We just don't know it. And we do find new species, like a bunch of them every year. Usually it's like, you know, a microscopic organism, but like, why not? Let's just have a big one for once. Like, I believe in it.
Yeah.
And
I
that
mean,
they're
we clearly
set-
had them.
They're made to survive. So they're like, we're going to avoid you freaks. Like, you guys are ruining this place.
Yeah.
We're going to be deep. And like, people get lost in the woods all the time where it's like, it's easy to not be discovered in the mountains and shit. Like,
Totally.
whoa.
I mean, if you think about it, then all the mythological / cryptid things could just be actual animals or different species that just know that we're dangerous, and so they stay away from us.
Right.
That makes sense.
Right.
I want to stay away from most humans too. I mean, I get it.
Yeah. Can't imagine walking out to like one of those like Timothy Chalamet lookalike contests and be like, I gotta go back into the woods. This is fucking stupid. Those things are so weird.
So
have you gone to like? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Marcy.
No, you go ahead, Betsy.
I was gonna say,
We're on a little bit of a lag. I can tell. So.
Oh no, are we? Sorry.
I guess that's going on. Yeah.
Do you go to like psychics and stuff? And like, have you dabbled in that at all?
I haven't yet. I did have Ivy Sunderji on my podcast. I know you guys had her as well.
Rules.
Yes.
I'm like really toying with the idea of getting a reading from her.
Yes.
But yeah, I have not yet had a psychic reading, but my friend's mom is a psychic and I had an experience with her. It's a really crazy story. This was a couple years ago. This was like the latest weird thing that's happened to me. I was with my friend Stacy. She's the one who, her mom is a total psychic. I had heard stories throughout the years about crazy things that her mom has predicted. And it's usually like within the family. It's like she predicts things of her kid's life. And I had heard stories and I totally believe it. I believe in everything. So I totally accept it. But me and Stacy were going to a concert and I drove us up there from Southern California to LA. And we're at the concert. We're waiting for the band to go on. And Stacy laughs and like is looking at her phone and she's laughing. And I'm like, what? And she goes, my mom just texted me and she said, be careful because you're getting in a car accident today. And I'm like, awesome. Great. I'm the one who drove us. This is the last concert of my life. I'm going to drive us home to our deaths. Awesome. So I'm like dreading the end of the concert because it means I have to, expire after this concert. I was so terrified. And it's a pretty long drive. It was LA to Southern California.
Yeah.
So I am like white knuckling it on the drive back. And I'm like checking my blind spots like 8 times. Just driving like a freak. And I'm like, you have to look out. We're not talking on this drive. You're getting us home safe.
I'm going 30 miles an hour and I'm not changing lanes.
Right? It was terrifying. I don't even think I put music on. I'm like, I have to concentrate.
Must hear everything around me.
Right? So we make it back though. And I drop her off and she's fine. I make it back to my place. We're all good. I'm like, okay, I like beat the prophecy. Like I am amazing. This is great. And then a couple hours later, Stacy sends me a text and it is a photo of her totaled vehicle. Yeah. And a couple hours later, her and her sister went out to like 7-Eleven to pick up snacks or something. And on their way back, they got into a crazy accident. They were both okay, but her car was totaled. And now you might think like, oh, Stacy had that text in her mind and it was a self-fulfilling prophecy. But her sister was the one who was driving and she didn't tell her sister about the text from her mom and her mom didn't text the sister. So
well, I was going to say Stacy tempted. She pushed the limits. That's on
right?
Stacy.
Stacy was
like,
really
why'd you go back out?
Yeah, seriously, like let your sister go.
Yeah, right.
Whoa.
Yeah, so I mean, again, I totally believe in all of this stuff, but when it happens in such close proximity to you and you see it happen in real time,
Yeah.
like I was freaking out. Like I was like, time is not real. Stacy's mom sees the future. That means that time is not real. And I was just freaking out like that entire night.
Yes.
It was wild. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is so nuts.
Right. Yeah. So I fully believe in it, and I'm scared I'm going to get like a prediction that then I'm going to worry about. I know you can tell them and say, don't tell me anything bad or whatever. I don't know.
I mean,
I'm
I've
scared.
seen
But maybe
I've seen a whole lot of psychics. I have never once gotten a negative, like,
Okay.
this is going to happen to you. I would say that most psychics wouldn't do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Like,
Cool.
it seems
Good to know.
I mean, you could find an asshole, I'm sure. There,
Right.
But if there is someone that you are referred to, I would imagine they're not, unless it is a warning, you know.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'll
And
do
also-
it. I'll
and
do it soon. A crazy story in my family is my grandma went to psychics when she was young, and one, like, you know, a lot of them, you know, didn't really have accurate readings or whatever, but there was one that she went to that said, you're going to have all boys and your third son will die young. And she had
Well,
5
that's
boys.
why you think of that.
Yeah,
Of
yes,
course that's
there you
why
go.
you worry
That's what-
about it. That makes
that's what
perfect
I've
sense
been-
now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've been told since I was little. But yeah, she had 5 boys and her third son died at 16.
Oh no.
What?
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wild.
of course. Okay, now I take it back. Then I guess most psychics aren't staying.
Yeah,
in
so
the lines
far,
of,
2
yeah.
psychics in your life have
foretold
been a
about
little like something bad.
Yeah. Those are probably outliers though. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Oh. That is so nuts. I was just telling Marcy, I think it was on last episode, I just shot a thing where one of the camera operators, she was telling us that she went to a psychic, and the psychic was like, you will die at age 86 from natural causes.
That's crazy.
Isn't that wild?
That's
I think that would ruin my life. Like, I don't want that.
Like, yeah, I don't want to know. Because I think I would
mean,
be like,
natural-
yeah, I'll start going skydiving and stuff. Like,
also
okay,
because
great.
we have free will. Like anything could change.
Right.
True.
Like I think that's at least the psychics I know. Like they can't always predict so accurately because they're like, well, you can change your life at any moment.
Right.
True.
So, I mean, 86.
Wild.
Who knows?
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows?
Still, she should still wear her seatbelt. I mean, you know, let's be careful.
Still wear a seatbelt. Still wear a helmet. Be safe. Be safe.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we're both at the same time in a car.
Yeah, there you go. Helmet in the car. Helmet in
So-
the car.
So, have you had any like alien-y kind of experiences, or have you heard like, you know, your dad had that one that was, I guess that would be cusp, I think. Like it was looking for stars, but like it had nothing to actually do with the stars.
Right. Unfortunately, I have not had any alien encounters. I do think I saw a doppelganger once. It's a pretty crazy story. I have a lot of like little stories.
That's what we're here
this-
for.
Let him rip.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, this story is pretty crazy. It was in my early 20s. I was really close friends with a guy and a girl. We can call them Jack and Jill.
Yeah.
And I was in a car with Jack and Jill. Jill was driving. Jack was in the front seat and I was in the back seat on the driver's side. And we were driving around, and this street that we were on was in a suburban area. It wasn't in LA. This is going to be important later. And it had streets kind of perpendicular to it, with like residential areas perpendicular to the street where we were driving down. And we passed one of those streets, and I see someone who looks exactly like Jack, like 100%. It was him, and it broke my brain for a second because I'm like, he's he's right there, but he's also in the front seat. And Jack had a very specific look about him, and that's why this is like so significant. He had a very specific haircut. He had like naturally blonde hair dyed, like box dyed at home black, which has a very specific look. You know, it's kind of matte. And he had a very jagged haircut. It had his exact hair. He was very tall and lanky. He wore very specific clothes. He wore all vintage clothing. He had this specific Letterman jacket that he always wore that had like vintage patches and pins all over it that he had collected over the years. And this individual had that exact same jacket. It was wearing the exact same dress pants that he would always wear. He always wore dress shoes. And the craziest part of it all is that Jack was a guitar player, and he had this very specific bag for his pedal board, which is like what guitarists use to change the sound of their guitar. It's like a pretty big board, like thick metal board. It's probably about like 3 feet by 2 feet. And then you have these pedals on it, which are each about like a few pounds, and you have like usually like 8 or 9 of them. So it's a pretty heavy, thick, weird shaped pedal board thing. And then he had this very specific bag that he put it in. And so it's this really heavy thing, but it had a shoulder strap on it, which doesn't really make sense because it's like 25, 30 pounds. And he was a lanky guy. So when he had it on his shoulder, he would like, it would weigh him down on that side. And he had this very specific walk when he was carrying this. And the individual had the pedal board bag and was doing the walk. And I'm looking at it for like close to 10 seconds. It was a long time, but I don't say anything. Jack and Jill are talking to each other. We finally pass it, and I'm just like losing my mind quietly. And a couple seconds go by, and I interrupt them. And I said, "Hey, did either of you see?" And then Jill goes, "You saw Jack back there." And I said, "Yes, you saw him too." Yeah. And we confirmed everything. We're like, the pedal board bag and the way he walks. And Jack is like, "What are you guys talking about?" And we're like, "We saw you back there." So we turn around, and it was like the whole thing was less than a minute. We go down that street, and there's no one there. And the reason I said this was not in LA is he had a very LA look. You know, this would honestly shock me less if it was in LA.
Dime a dozen here.
Right.
Yeah, we're in
not
Silver
that
Lake.
Yeah, exactly. If it was in Silver Lake, I'd be like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
But like, yeah. And not that you can't look like a unique rock star outside of LA, but I feel like that adds to it. It was a weird little suburban area, but yeah, he was gone. And then again, why I think this is significant is a few months later, Jack went through a very hard time. So I really think that it was a doppelganger, and it was foretelling, you know, this hard time that he was about to go through. Yeah, it was wild.
Whoa.
Yeah. That's nuts. To be in the car with him while you see it, and he's like, "Huh?
And
what? Who?"
Right? And like me and Jill both saw it, and he's the only one who didn't see it.
Oh, having Jill see it is like,
yeah. I was so like stoked that she saw it too, because I had someone to be like, no, like it was him.
That's crazy.
Do you think that you're like sensitive to? I guess just straight up sensitive. Like
you're obviously drawn to it, so there must be something about you that is, you know, picking up on things because you have an interest in it.
That's true. I've been to a lot of haunted places. You know, whenever I'm on a trip, I always take the ghost tour, and I've been on the Queen Mary a bunch of times.
Yes.
I've been to some of the houses of people who have been on my podcast to just like see what it's like. And I never really feel anything. And I don't know if that's just like getting in my head, like I know this is supposed to be haunted. I don't know, but I do think there is something that like when you seek this out a lot, I feel like it does, you know, show itself to you a little bit more. I might regret saying this. I am a little disappointed that since starting this podcast, I haven't had a crazy story or anything.
You're done.
I might regret saying that.
You're done.
Open the floodgates.
You're getting a goblin attached to you
I mean,
tonight, dude.
Betsy, it took you probably like what 6 years of podcasting before you had an experience.
Yeah.
So You might have a while. I also
True.
I have a theory about it too, that it's like dating, and the more you want it, sometimes the more you repel.
Yes.
Like,
oh,
you
and I
have-
want it so
like,
bad.
yeah.
that
Like,
little stink of
That
desperation.
desperation, all the spirits and things are like, nah, 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 nah. Nah, 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 nah.
yeah. I got to be a little hard to get, and then they'll come running.
Yes. Yeah, then they'll
yeah.
really haunt
Like,
the shit out of you.
It's like
Yeah.
open to it, because if you were closed off, then you maybe wouldn't acknowledge it when you see it. So it is like you're open,
Right.
but like not like give it.
That's me right now. That's honestly my current state. So I got to change something.
But I have found that in the past few years that they all, I've had like so many more little experiences with things, and they don't really freak me out as much. I mean, remember the voice in I had a voice in the next room over while I was like doing a Marco Polo, like a little video with friends, and I was like,
right.
and I was like,
Got it on video.
I got it on video. But that, other than that, like none of them, they just kind of like caught me off guard, because I was like, like,
Did it
just
say
to have,
asshole?
I don't think we could. Some people were like, it said, well, that's what you thought.
Like, that
'cause-
sounds like asshole.
And some
Something's
people
calling
thought
you
it said-
asshole.
Some people thought it said ti amo.
Oh, it doesn't. Well, who knows?
Much nicer, huh? Much
Yeah,
nicer,
yeah,
right?
I guess.
I was,
Sweet.
Betsy, have I ever told you the story about the time I saw alternate universe, Marcy?
No, what the fuck?
I just remembered it as you were telling the doppelganger story. It was, I was in college. I remember very specifically. I was in D. Vickers, which is where the theater department was, and we were in the lobby of D. Vickers, and I saw Marcy, but she was wearing I remember she was wearing a one-shoulder top, which I would never wear, and she had an eyebrow ring. And granted, she didn't look, I wouldn't be like, that's exactly me, but I was like, she looks so much like me. Same like hair color, same eye color, same body. Like, it was just crazy to see, like, that's like,
That was like your sliding doors version of you.
I was like, that's Slutty Marcy. Slutty Marcy's over
Bloody
there.
Marcy.
That's what
Your
could
slutty
be.
doors.
That could be
yes.
Yeah, she seemed a lot happier too. It was just really weird, because I was like, I've never seen someone that I know in this moment looks exactly like me.
Yeah, no, that's wild.
Yeah.
Whoa.
me. Crazy.
Doppelganger stuff is so freaky.
Yeah.
That's really, yeah. Oh.
Do you have any other stories that you're like, I gotta tell this one
Oh.
before we
Ooh.
listen to a listener story?
I think I hit all my big ones.
Yeah.
Again, I have just like
really good ones.
Really,
Thank
really
you.
good ones.
Wild.
thank you so
ones.
much. Thank you.
All right, so I will pull one up right now.
Yes. Yes.
Hey there, Betsy and Marcy. I just wanted to call in and give a funny follow-up to my previous story I had sent in about my best friend Kelly and her exploding things off the shelf that I keep my necklace with her ashes on.
Yes.
So my story left off with her visits before and after Thanksgiving. So now we're going to fast forward to a few weeks after Christmas. Let me preface this by saying that my friend Kelly, she's a Diet Pepsi girl, and I'm a Dr. Pepper girl.
Aww.
So after Christmas, me and my husband, we were out doing some shopping. And usually if we're out, we'll go through the clearance Christmas stuff just to see what they've got on clearance and see what I can find. And we were at Walmart, and I come around the corner to the Christmas aisle, and it was pretty much empty. They were starting to take them off the shelves. But there was one ornament hanging up on the little wall of the whole aisle. And it was one of those times where it felt like there was this bright light shining down on it, and that, going on in my head, because it was just perfect. It was a little bitty Diet Pepsi can Christmas ornament. So, of course, I bought it. And when I got home, I took it in the bedroom and I set it on the shelf next to the necklace. And I was like, look, Kelly, look what I got you. I got you your Diet Pepsi. And so then just a few days later, it would have been on January 16th because it was the day before my birthday. My birthday is January 17th. So I was in my bathroom that morning getting ready for work, and my bedroom door is just right outside my bathroom door. And once again, I heard that familiar sound of something falling off the shelf, hitting the back of the door, of the bedroom door, and then hitting the floor. So I walked around, and it wasn't that loud like it was the previous times, but it seems to be a distinctive sound that I've come to know since she keeps doing this. So I walked in the bedroom, and I pulled the door back, and I looked down on the floor, and of course the Diet Pepsi can was on the floor. That was the only thing that had fell off. She knocked it off. There's just no other way around it. Yeah. So I just laughed, and I came out of the bedroom and told my husband, I said, well, Kelly's saying hi for my birthday, even though she's a day early, but I'll take it, Then the next day, which was actually my birthday, I was on my lunch hour at work, and I drove up to the drive-thru at Taco Bell. Woo. I know, Betsy, that's your favorite place.
Yeah, I ate it last
So I pulled
night.
up, and there was a car already ordering, and I'm rolling my window down, and I could tell she'd already placed her food. So at that point, all I could hear was her ordering her drink. And it was just fucking crazy part. This is what this is. She ordered half Diet Pepsi and half Dr. Pepper. Who the hell orders that? I mean, nobody. I've never heard of that before.
Whoa,
I've been a Dr.
no.
Pepper drinker all my life. She was a Diet Pepsi drinker all her life. So I thought that was really cool. So I know she was telling me happy birthday on my birthday, and it was an odd way, but I'll take it. Thanks, girls, for all y'all do. I love your podcast. It gets me through my work day listening to y'all. So thank you again.
Oh my God, that's so sweet. I almost cried. I
That's
got teary.
nice.
So sweet.
So sweet. Also, in those moments when things like that happen, when there's like a sign that is put there by someone else who's no longer with us, do you think the person in the car was like, why the fuck did I order this? This is disgusting.
I've never done this before.
I hate this. This is a nasty.
That is so where it is. It's like, I don't know. I was just in the mood for half Diet Pepsi, half Dr. Pepper.
I mean, it didn't work. It didn't work.
No. That's the first time that person ever got that, and never again.
Yeah, never again.
Yeah.
Gross.
I was feeling a little
Wow.
nutty, and I made a mistake.
It's so funny if they had just said, I want a Diet Pepsi, I'd be like, that's sweet, and maybe that's a sign.
Same.
But the
And even
combo,
Dr. Pepper, I'd be like, oh, okay.
Okay. But the combo is truly bizarre, and that
Yes.
you would even just click in to hear it too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And even someone asking for that at a drive-thru, even if you do weird stuff like that, it's like, do that when it's a self-serve. Do your own weird stuff when nobody's watching.
Oh.
I'm now like, I think I have to try that combo. I'm so curious.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I get it. But usually if you do like half and half, it's of the same thing because you're like,
Right.
but half Dr. Pepper, half Diet Pepsi. Also, what a very specific little gift to our ornament to find too.
That is so fun.
And then it happened before and on your birthday that she was like, fine,
Yes.
I'll let
There's
you know.
so
I'm
many
here
things.
too.
Also, Taco
Yeah,
Bell
so
on
many
the
things
birthday.
coming together.
Good job.
It is like I think doing the podcast so long, the sweetness of the paranormal really stands out to
Yes.
us. There is so many sweet moments like that are bittersweet, but still so nice. And also like, then they're like the fucking demon-y shit too.
yes. Yeah.
Spectrum.
It really is.
What do you think about that? Like, do you believe in malevolent like entities or forces out there?
I mean, I've heard so many stories of them. I mean, it has to be real, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think that humans have the upper hand, and these, evil entities, they're like, trying to get into our space. And I do think that if you, set your boundaries, and I had someone on my podcast who was, had all these shadow people in his life, and he was, getting haunted by the shadow people in his sleep. And he then did a lot of mushrooms and saw like a Indian goddess, and she told him that the shadow people feed off of your energy, and they want your energy when you're feeling bad.
We've heard
and
this,
when
yeah.
yes. He told the story at the SpectreVision.
No, not this story. We've heard this about the feeding off energy, like fear and sadness and stuff. So keep going.
Right. Yeah. I do think that is a thing, and they like to eat your energy when it is bad. So the way that you can combat that and to fight them off is to just be your best self and be like happy and you know, positive and be doing what you like to do, and then they don't want to eat your energy. Whoa. And I think that tracks, and he did that. He like was scared, you know, but he the next time he saw one, he like sat up in bed and was like, I'm not afraid of you and you can't have this. Cool. And it like went away, and he like more just immersed himself in his work, and like then the shadow people went away. But I do think that like humans ultimately have the upper hand, and it can be hard. There's no like manual or book of how to fight these things. So, you know, it's hard. But I do think, I mean, you know, at the end of the day, we can fight them off.
Even in like most religions, in the lore of all of like the angels and demons or whatever, it's like humans have dominion over the earth. Like we walk here.
Yes.
We're ruining it, but this is ours. So
for better or for worse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Totally.
Kassie, this has been a fucking treat to have you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You guys. Of course, thank you for having me. Again, I've been a listener forever, so this is so special and such an honor. So thank you so much.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Tell all of our listeners where to find you and your podcast.
Yeah, so Tell Me Your Ghost Story is on all podcast platforms, wherever you find them. My social media is on Instagram. I'm at Tell Me Your Ghost Story Podcast. And on TikTok, I'm at Tell Me Your Ghost Story Pod. On my social medias, I've been featuring some creepy real photos this series I've been doing.
Cool.
Thank you. Yeah, featuring photos that seem to have captured a ghost or something otherworldly in them, and yeah, that's been really fun. People have been sending me their creepy photos, which is so fun, because it's like, you know, there's a lot of photos out there that have, you know, made the rounds on Reddit and everything, and I've seen them, but then when people like email me one and they're like, yeah, this has just been in my family, this has been a legend in my family for years, and can you explain it? And I'm always like, yeah, it's a ghost. So that's my explanation.
I'll tell you that much. It's a ghost. There was recently you did that like castle one of like a dude opening the doors or whatever, and it was like, this is so nuts.
Yeah, Hampton Court Palace. That place is so haunted. It has my favorite like creepy real video and creepy real photo.
Yeah.
It has everything. I think it's so haunted. It's the former residence of King Henry VIII, so lots of energy there. But yeah, I love that video specifically because spokespeople for Hampton Court Palace have said, like, we don't know what this is. We're releasing it because it was this figure who like opened these doors in a fire exit area, and it looks like it has this like cloak on.
Yes.
And spokespeople were like, we don't have costume guides that look like that. And we genuinely don't know who this, like, it doesn't make sense. This is not a hoax. And then they actually commented on my TikTok, and they're like, yeah, to this day, like, this is an unsolved mystery. We have not figured out, you know, who it was. But
that's very
it's creepy. It's even if it
Yeah.
happened to be somebody doing it, it's like, wow, good job, because you're creepy.
you did
looking.
it.
Like, this is spooky.
Fooled everyone and all of your employees. Like, good job.
Yeah, really well done.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, everyone go listen.
Yes.
Go listen to Tell Me Your Ghost Story right now.
Yes.
Please.
Bye, Kassie.
Thank you so much. Bye.